In today's class, you will learn about gaseous exchange and what topics we'll cover in this. First, you'll do the gaseous exchange in plants, then we'll move towards the gaseous exchange in animals. Dear students, as you can see the picture of a tree, this is the daytime while this is the nighttime. I will show you how do the plants exchange different gases in daytime and during the nighttime. So here, as you know, that plants prepare their food with the help of photosynthesis, and during this process light is required. So the plants take in carbon dioxide gas and they manufacture their food, that is the carbohydrate, and in turn they liberate oxygen gas, which is a byproduct, and this is taken up by animals, by human beings and other living organisms. Plants do perform respiration, and during this process you know that oxygen gas is taken up while carbon dioxide gas is released as a harmful product in the environment. So this is the gaseous exchange in plants. But how does it differ in photosynthesis and respiration? So here I have cropped a picture of the differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Here, as you know, that photosynthesis is an anabolic process because the food of the plant, that is the carbohydrate, is formed in this process, while respiration is a catabolic process that is happening at a cellular level, and this is basically breaking down the food, and carbon dioxide gas is evolved while water is also produced along with enough amount of energy. The next is, in case of photosynthesis, synthesis of food from simple inorganic substances takes place, that is carbon dioxide and water. They are utilized and they are processed because the plants have chlorophyll and they actually capture the sunlight's energy and they prepare the food. While in case of respiration, breaking down of food into inorganic substances takes place. Photosynthesis requires light energy. As you can see here that during the daytime the plants perform photosynthesis, while respiration happens all the time, it does not require light energy. Photosynthesis occurs in plants while respiration occurs in all the living organisms. You know that you are not a plant, you are a human being, but you perform respiration. You cannot perform photosynthesis because you lack this chlorophyll, right? So respiration occurs in all living organisms, be the plant, be any simplest organism, or the human being, or any other animal. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide gas is used, while in respiration, oxygen gas is used. In photosynthesis, oxygen gas is released, while in respiration, carbon dioxide gas is released. Photosynthesis takes place during daytime, while respiration takes place all the time. In case of photosynthesis, you know that chlorophyll is required, while in the case of respiration, there is no pigment required, that is, chlorophyll is not required at all. Dear students, now we'll move to the gaseous exchange in plants. We'll learn about the anatomy of the leaf so that you will learn more clearly about how the gaseous exchange is happening in the plants. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll divide the tissues of the plants into three categories. First is the epidermis, the next is the mesophyll tissue, and the last is the vascular bundle, that is the vascular tissue. We'll discuss them one by one. As you can see here that there is an upper epidermis and lower epidermis. This epidermis first of all produces the cuticle, which gives the waxy appearance, and this minimizes the loss of water from the leaf surface, and this epidermis is actually protecting the inner part of the leaf. Next to the epidermis, there is the mesophyll cell layer. This is the palisade mesophyll. These mesophyll cells, they have minimum space between them, and they are arranged in the form of columns. Below them, a spongy mesophyll layer is there. Okay, as the sponge contains pores. Okay, it is porous, so this spongy mesophyll got its name from there because it has got some spaces. Okay, spaces are somewhere larger and somewhere they are narrow. So this palisade mesophyll layer, this is basically concerned with the preparation of food of the plant with the help of photosynthesis, because it's carrying the pigment chlorophyll in it. Chlorophyll is also present in the epidermis, but epidermis, it has got the stomata which actually has the chlorophyll in it, the chloroplast actually, and then in the chloroplast the pigment is produced, that is chlorophyll. So we'll discuss the structure of stomata later, but for your understanding I just want to tell you here that the stomata are found in the epidermis, and they are much in number in lower epidermis as compared to the upper epidermis. Now, with the spongy mesophyll cell layer, what happens? The vascular bundles are passing, so it has got space, okay, among the cells. So which vascular bundles are present? Xylem and the phloem. The xylem is concerned with the conduction of water and mineral salts, while phloem is concerned with the transportation of food, that is called the translocation. I hope that you understood it. Now in this picture you can see easily that this is a vein passing, and this vein is containing the vascular bundles. So the photosynthetic product, that is the carbohydrate, is produced and then it is transported with the help of phloem tissue, while the water is coming through the xylem vessel, and carbon dioxide is taken up by the leaf through the stomata. When the stomata is open, carbon dioxide gas enters, water is coming from the ground, and then they combine and then they make the photosynthetic product, which is basically the carbohydrate, and this is also actually releasing oxygen gas along with water vapor. And here also the stomata is open. Now we'll see the structure of stomata. A stomata simply consists of an opening which is called a stoma. It is slit-like opening, and it is actually surrounded by two guard cells. These are the guard cells. As you can see here in the structure of this guard cell, that a vacuole is found here, okay, and its cell wall is here. This is the outer cell wall and this is the inner wall, right? This one is thicker as compared to the outer one, and the nucleus is also there. Once the cell is turgid, that is, if its vacuole is filled with the cell sap, which is a type of mineral water, so when it's filled with the cell sap, then vacuole is swollen. Okay, so the cell is turgid here. When the cell is turgid, the stomata opens up, and when it loses turgidity, then it is closed. So stoma is closed, and then the stomata, these stomata are closed. So here the gaseous exchange is taking place, right, when the stomata is open. Now you will learn about the gaseous exchange in animals. There are a lot of animals that are living on different habitats. They are living in different habitats. For example, some are living on land, so they are terrestrial animals, while some are living inside water, so they are aquatic animals. In case of terrestrial animals, the medium for exchanging the gas is air. However, the animals who are living in water, the medium of exchange of gases is basically the water. Amount, that is the concentration of oxygen, differs both in air and water. In case of air, there is around 21% of oxygen, while in case of water, 5% oxygen is there, that is dissolved in water. So Animals, what do? They perform respiration by taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide gas. In case of unicellular organisms like amoeba, that is the protozoan, the plasma membrane serves as a respiratory surface. So here you must know that there should be a surface that is called respiratory surface needed for respiration to happen. Okay, so in case of single cell unicellular eukaryotic animals, the plasma membrane serves as a respiratory surface, and they perform the respiration by the process of diffusion. However, in different multicellular animals, their body surface, like for example the sponge, or you can also go to the most common amphibian, frog. This also can respire with the help of its body surface in different conditions. Okay, so it can perform its respiration with the help of its body surface, while some internal surfaces could serve as a respiratory surface in case of multicellular animals like us. Okay, we are having lungs, and in the lungs, at the level of alveoli, we exchange gases. That is, that oxygen gas diffuses in, while carbon dioxide gas is diffused out. So what should be the properties of respiratory surfaces? You know that respiratory surface is needed for the animals to perform respiration, so there should be some sort of properties or qualities of respiratory surfaces must be there. So first of all, it should be thin. The much thin it is, the more respiration will happen. It must be wet, because oxygen gas must be dissolved first and then it can be transported easily. Same goes for the carbon dioxide gas. The respiratory surface should be permeable. As you know, that cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane that allows the exchange of the limited molecules. Among them, these gases come. Okay, so it should be permeable. And its surface area, that is the respiratory surface's area, should be larger in relation to the volume of the body. The much surface area is there, the more respiration will be done by the respiratory surface. Okay, so here we will discuss the proportion of respiratory surface. It must be sufficiently large enough to exchange gases for all the cells of the body. For example, the total surface area of the respiratory surface in humans is about 20 times to the size of the body. So this much larger the surface area of the respiratory surface is in case of humans, so that we are able to perform respiration. I was telling you about that at the alveolar level, the human beings are actually respiring. They are actually doing the exchange of gases. So if the surface area is increased, because they are actually thinner, okay, they are also wet, they are also moist because the blood vessels are surrounding them. So this is meeting all the properties of the respiratory surface, and surface area is also larger. Once it is larger, then the rate of diffusion, okay, it will be more. So this is it. I hope that you understood well. I will continue with the human respiratory system in detail in the next video, so wait for it. I hope that you understood it, how the gaseous exchange takes place in plants and how it differs in case of different types of animals, whether they are terrestrial animals or the aquatic animals, and how should be the respiratory surface, what properties should it exhibit to be a good respiratory surface in case of animals. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.